last night I got to see Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back in a movie theater, and it was great. It was great because I think it was my favorite film of all time. I just love that film. I really enjoyed that movie. I love it. But I never got to see it in theaters. It came out 40 years ago from May. So it's like when you put that in perspective, it came out 40 years ago. You just know, okay, 40 years ago I could have seen it, but not now. And I think one of the silver linings in otherwise, horrible time is they're showing, they're showing re-releases of classic movies. And so to see original trilogy Star Wars film in theaters and seeing that crawl and seeing the great epic lightsaber battles and the great moments and the quotable lines and the great atmosphere of Star Wars that I love so much in the big screen, because obviously I've seen from Force Awakens beyond, I've seen all the Star Wars films in theaters, but like, let's be real. It's not the same watching new Star Wars films. It's so great and all, but seeing one of those original films that truly to me define Star Wars is these original films. And well, I didn't get to see New Hope or Return of the Jedi. I got to see the best of them, in Empire. And just I've rewatched this film even within quarantine. So this is like my third time watching it in this pandemic era, and so it's just great. And so to watch that in the big screen is great, and I really enjoyed it. Eating movie theater popcorn while watching it. And, no one was really in the theater besides us. I saw it was this film and Tenet were the only films I saw in theaters, and both are practically empty. Like in Tenet, there was like one other couple and then in this film there was like one other family, but they sat like 5 rows ahead of us, so we were practically in an empty theater again. So if we can keep that going, it would be great. But so yeah, and I really got to take advantage of this because theaters could be closed. With Black Widow and being delayed, and West Side Story, and Death on the Nile, and Wonder Woman got delayed till December, and maybe Bond will get delayed, and Dune, and so what the point is that we don't know the future of theaters, because classic films were a great idea, because the thought process of putting classic films in theaters, or okay, we're gonna put classic films in theaters to get people back into the movie theaters and feeling comfortable going back to the movie theaters, so that by the time films like Tenet and Black Widow and Wonder Woman and Bond come out, the audiences will feel comfortable going back to theaters. But that was if, and if there was new films coming right after they played classic films. But just playing classic films can barely make revenue, because that's the truth. You know, I went to see Empire Strikes Back on a Friday night. What is even, because like, this is the best case study to prove why these classic films are not good enough to get people back in theaters, the main general audience back in theaters, and keep the movie theaters alive. It's because a film like Empire Strikes Back, which is so beloved by so many audiences and over generations, a film like Empire Strikes Back, which might be the biggest chance theaters have for people to come back to theaters to see a classic film, and even then on a Friday night, it was just me and one other family. And that's just a great case study to show that it's just not going to work out for them. And so I really want to take advantage of this, because who knows what it'll take. And plus, there's a good chance I'll never see Empire Strikes Back in theaters, and so many classic films I'll never get to see in theaters again. And so I take this as the utmost privilege to see my favorite film of all time in theaters that came out 40 years ago. That's crazy. So, anyways, stay tuned. More videos coming at you.